Hey everyone, Jake with Packet Accepted. So you just bought a Mikrotik router and you're looking to get it set up. Well, you've come to the right place. Once you get it plugged in and powered on and plugged into your network, you're going to want to go over to Mikrotik's website and download Winbox. I'll have a link for it down in the description below. I'm going to click on this MAC address, which is my device, and click connect. Then I'm going to change the password. The old one is empty. The new one is going to be your choice. Make sure that they match. Next up, we're going to want to change the identity so that we know what we're talking about when we look at it from our monitoring. I'm going to label this one as Lab 1. Next up, we're going to go to interfaces. I've only got 2 Ethernet ports on this one. I want to set Ether 1 as my WAN interface. These are just labels. And Ether 2 as my LAN interface. Go ahead and close that out. Next up, we're going to set up the IP addresses that my router is going to hand out. I'm going to choose 10.0.0.1 as my router IP and do it on a /24 subnet and assign that to Ether2. And then my WAN interface already has a DHCP address, so I won't need to set that. Next up, we need to set up the server, the DHCP server. So we're going to go to IP, DHCP server, and then DHCP setup. This is the wizard that Mikrotik uses for setting up their DHCP servers. I'm going to select Ethernet, Ether2, and next. DHCP space is correct. Gateway is correct. I'm going to change the range that it gives out for the IP addresses. I'm going to leave my DNS server's default as is my lease time. Now we can see in here, once I tell my computer to ask for a new IP address, there we go. It popped up right there. So we can close that out. That's all set up. Next up, we need to set our firewall. Mikrotiks by default have no firewall rules. So we need to go in here. We're going to start with the input, which is everything coming into the router. We're going to do input, and we're going to do connection state established and related, and we're going to accept those. Next up, we're going to do an accept rule on the input chain, and we're going to do my LAN IP, or the LAN subnet, I should say, so that I don't get locked out of this router. Next up, I'm going to have a default drop rule to drop everything else. We're going to go in here and do drop. After that, we're going to do an accept rule on the forward chain, which is everything going through the router. Same thing, established and related. Then we're going to do on the forward chain, a drop rule for everything that is invalid. After that, we're going to do another drop rule for literally everything else, but only on the Ether 1 interface. That will block everything coming from the internet. After that, we need to set up a NAT rule. So we're going to click the plus button. We're going to make sure source NAT is set correctly. We're going to do a source address of our LAN subnet. So 10.0.0.0/24. Our destination interface is going to be the WAN interface of Ether 1. And the action is going to be masquerade. Click OK. There we go. That's set up. So if I bring this over, this is my computer plugged into that router, and I ask it to ping 8.8.8.8. There we go. We can now connect through to Google. So I hope this video was informative for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Also, if you have any suggestions, do the same thing. And as always, like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for my next video.